So the new Darkin Zahen is pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. He's a really fun champion. This is gonna be my take on this champion. I've been learning this champion, learning the ins and outs and the issues in his kit. Hopefully this is not a delusional take. There's gonna be some bias, because I'm an old Aatrox main, and this champion is so close. He could become like the upgraded version of old Aatrox. So there's gonna be a bias on that. But a lot of the changes that I want changed on this champion, like it's gonna be a balanced nightmare if they don't change this. So hopefully it's not too delusional. It's not that delusional. It's really tame. Trust me on that. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of old Aatrox references right here. So I'm gonna refer as old Aatrox, or and then there's his mini rework. There's also the current Aatrox. I'm just gonna call him QQ Chogs, BB Chogs, or Boris to not be confused, because I'm gonna reference him a bit. Not that crazy. It's gonna be mainly old Aatrox references because this champion's so close to him. This guy is now Aatrox. QQ Chogs is not Aatrox. This guy takes his name now. This is now Aatrox. He is Aatrox. Auto attack Chox. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. He's not exactly like old Aatrox, so don't get your hopes up, but he's a lot closer. He's not a diver like old Aatrox. He's missing that, but he has almost every other aspect of old Aatrox. He really feels so close to him, especially when you get on top of enemies. So that being said, let's get on with the video. The obvious thing is his passive is giga overtuned, and it should not function the way how it is. But let's talk about the AD steroid. At level 18, he gets 79% increased attack damage. That is his total attack damage. That's why I have 855 AD on this champion. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. They should reference old Aatrox, the mini rework especially, because he got AD in his passive as well. He got AD and attack speed. But his increased attack damage was based off his base AD. So it's a set amount late game. It doesn't keep increasing the more items or attack damage you stack on this champion. So this should really be flat AD. It shouldn't keep increasing the more attack damage you stack on this champion. It's gonna be easier to balance in the long run. This is one biased take. I really think he shouldn't be known as the crazy increased attack damage steroid Darkin, because Boris QQ Chogs is known as the insane attack damage steroid Darkin. Zahen steals that title away from him now because he gets 79% total AD increase, and Aatrox Boris QQ Chogs gets 45% in his tier 3 ult. Having attack damage actually has really good synergy with his Q, so that's really good on Riot. If it's attack speed, it kind of loses the value of having auto resets, but I really think it should be attack speed, primarily attack speed for his passive. That's my biased take. But this is really good still. Attack damage is really good. But they definitely need to nerf it. If they do add attack speed, they need to lower the attack damage greatly. I really think he should just be known as attack speed Darkin steroid. Yeah. The second part is his revive is like just overtuned straight up. So the mini rework of old Aatrox, his revive scaled with 30% max HP. The original Aatrox scaled with his blood and just a flat amount of HP per level. So it was a flat amount of healing. With that type of revive, if you reference the OG Aatrox, if it's a flat healing, he gets more value from the revive healing if he doesn't stack too much HP. Because if you stack like a billion HP and he only like revives a flat amount, or like maybe like 75 of his base HP, then he's gonna end up healing like half of his health with this type of build. Less than half actually. So it loses a lot of value. Because with these types of builds, if he can build Juggernaut like this, it breaks the champion. It's really, really good that he doesn't have any HP ratios besides his Q healing. It's really good, but since his revive scales with max HP, getting a bunch of HP and damage with that, like Juggernaut items, is gonna break this champion because of his revive. So I'll show you the revive. Also, while I show the revive, I have GA, as you can see. His revive procs first. His own revive procs first before GA. And I don't think that should be a thing. So you can see I get my passive revive first. To make it more balanced, if they really want him to, like if they want GA to work on him, I think GA should proc first so you get less amount of health. But I think they should change it completely. So now I have GA, right? I have fully stacked passive, right? This shouldn't be allowed, right? Look at this. I'm hitting them. I still have my passive stacks. It's still fully stacked. Obviously, if I like delay it a bit, it's gonna decay a bit if I don't like hit them right before I die. I really think to prevent GA from being built on this champion and having like a zillion ult on him, GA should proc first and cleanse his passive. You don't want to reduce the duration of his passive because it's really, the duration is really balanced. It's not too long for the champion, where he can just like wait for his cooldowns, take short trades, wait for his cooldowns and still have his stacks up. And it's not too short where it feels bad to play Zaahen, where you're forced to all in every freaking time. So that's pretty good. What's really well thought of is this one's different. It's not like Blood or Fury, where if you're in combat and you take damage, you keep the stacks. So the condition is Zaahen has to attack the enemy. If you don't attack the enemy, you lose stacks. If you take tower damage, you don't, or like damage from like towers, you lose stacks still. So that's really well thought of from Riot. With how strong his passive is. It only makes sense to treat it like other Fury champions or Blood champions. If his passive was a lot weaker, but since his passive is Giga overtuned and just Giga overtuned, he shouldn't keep his stacks like in combat at all. He has to be hitting them, so that's really well thought of Riot. Next up. So Zaahen's Q is really nice. I really like this ability because it really reminds me of old Aatrox. Not exactly, it's locked behind a cooldown. But this is kind of weird. Riot made Sundered Sky crit twice for him on the first Q, which is insane. Because that ends up, that actually ends up dealing more damage than the second Q. That's kind of crazy. No wonder I was seeing so much damage from it. But other than that, the healing is not that crazy. It's locked behind a cooldown. This champion has sustain issues. He needs lifesteal. The best lifesteal item is Ravenous on this champion because you want wave clear if you're in top lane. There's also Bork. It synergizes with the first Q because it's a double strike. You apply on hit effects twice with that. But I'd say Ravenous is better. You don't want to go, you can go Ravenous Bork. It's gonna be good. But you want to stack more high AD items because of his passive. Unless they make his passive give a flat amount of AD. If it's total AD, he's always gonna want to stack high AD items instead of on-hit items. If it's flat, then he wants to build attack speed and on-hit items, so he can get the most value from the flat AD. But that being said, yes, this first Q feels like Bloodthirst, but it heals less, but it deals more damage and it double strikes. The second part is like Blood Price, but less damage. This one's actually less damage than OG Aatrox Blood Price. Like Blood Price had some crazy base damage and 100% AD ratio, bonus AD ratio. But this thing knocks up and it needs a lower AD ratio compared to like old Aatrox because of his steroid from his passive. So that makes sense. His Q is really nice with his whole kit because he gets so much AD. Having 2 auto attack resets helps him a lot, and it makes him allowed to stack a bunch of AD. So that's really good on the champion. It is really, really valuable. If this was an attack speed item, if this was an attack speed champion, the auto attack resets become less valuable. But since he gets so much AD, attack resets is so strong on this champion. Getting Titanic is disgusting on this champ, by the way. Like, you see that? That is nuts, by the way. Yeah. Zaahen's W really doesn't make sense in his kit, in my opinion. Obviously this ability is fine right now because of how overtuned his numbers are. Just because it's overtuned. But in the long run, I think having a slow on his W is so much better for the champion. This champion has kiting problems. Really terrible kiting problems. Especially in top lane because you don't have access to smite and red buff. He gets kited really hard. If the enemy champion has movement speed buffs or a long dash to get away from him, he ends up losing his stacks and he can't stick on top of them. So that being said, maybe it's too delusional to just make this a slow, but I'd say it's so much better for the champion to just have a slow. This W also is too slow, by the way. It is too slow to cast. If you have a bit of attack speed, like right now, it's a huge DPS loss to cast W. You see that? Because I'm locked behind an animation. I'm just like, it's too slow. It's too slow for this champion. It should scale with attack speed, honestly, the cast time. But then maybe it would make the ability too strong for this champ. But honestly, it would just be better if it's just a slow that scales with attack speed for the cast time. Right now, the ideal combo with this champion is like stacking up Q on like a minion, E forward, knock them up, and then W. Or like you get on their face, W, like Q, and then knock up W. That's the only way you can really use this W because this is too slow. It's easy to dodge. It is really easy to dodge. Like, look at that. Like how the hitbox is not huge at all. It kind of sucks. They could just give old Aatrox Blades of Torment, his E, to this champion, his W. That would be pretty cool. It's also a double cast too. It has 2 blades, so you technically get 2 stacks. It would make sense because this ability gets 2 stacks. The good part of this ability, the W, is it gives you a bunch of stacks, obviously. Look at this. There's 3 opponents, right? Boom. And then I E, fully stacked. This champion's 1v3 is gonna be insane if they clump up like that. Obviously, you're at most you're gonna like pull 1 or 2 people. Like pulling 3 people is insane. Hitting multiple people with the sweet spot on E is really easy in team fights if they group up. But yeah, that's how I would change the W. That's the ability where like just change this ability completely, honestly. Like it doesn't really make sense. And if this is a slow, I mean, then that becomes Camille Q. Like if you have like a movement speed buff on the second cast instead of a knock-up, yeah, you don't need to change this. I think outright just change Zaahen W. It's gonna be better for the champion if it's just a slow. Next up is his E. His E is really well thought of. So it's not exactly like Kane Q, so you're not locked behind like casting the dash max range every time. And then you're forced to hug a wall to cast it faster. This champion could just E in place, and then you can like, yeah, you just can DPS faster because of that. It's so good. It's a really clean ability. What doesn't really make sense is having a sweet spot, but I guess you wanna like deal with tanks with the magic damage, because this champion just wants to get on top of your face. But if you end up E-ing too close and you hit the sour spot, you only get 1 stack. So you really don't want to do that. But this champion really wants to do that though. So it's kind of scuffed. This is gonna be my delusional take, but hear me out. Since there's that mechanic where you can tap in place and also dash long, but he's locked behind a slow animation, they should make this a long dash. Like maybe like be able to dash from here to where this champion is, honestly, like the body. So like double the range basically. It would be so much better for the champion. It would feel like old Aatrox. That's the only reason why I want it to be a long dash. Because this guy has kiting issues really bad. Unless he gets Stridebreaker, it feels kind of scuffed. trying to close the gap with E. It's so slow and it's so short. It's so much better if it's a longer dash. You can lead with ult and close the gap. It's kind of slow. It's not like old Aatrox Q. It's not that fast. It's the same length though, but it's locked behind your ultimate, so you don't become a diver because of that. Old Aatrox was a diver auto attacker, engage, so duelist, like all of that. This guy has everything, old Aatrox, except the diving part. His ult is a long dash though. You can dash pretty far. It's like old Aatrox Q, where like if you're slightly over halfway, it'll extend the length. I don't know how crazy it is. Yeah, it's the same as old Aatrox Q. Same function. So with that, his ult is technically okay. Armor penetration is needed with this champion, 100%. It is needed. He's full physical damage, and he doesn't have like shields. He doesn't have crazy healing. He needs it. This guy is the assassin Darkin, basically. But he's gonna end up as a Juggernaut Darkin because of his revive. He's gonna be the squishy skirmisher. He should be just the squishy skirmisher Darkin. But this build prevents that. His AD ratio should definitely be lower because of how much AD he gets. This is technically okay if he didn't have insane AD steroids. The weird part about this ability is he gets only 1 stack per target. It's not like his other abilities where you can get 2 stacks. So this ability, like, it's a nuke like old Aatrox. But it doesn't give as much stacks like old Aatrox. Old Aatrox gave like 20% per target hit. This one gives 1 stack and you're out of 12. So it feels weird. He's not a diver because of that, because it's bad to engage like this and then ult. It's kind of weird to do that. I mean, you can do that. It's really good, but you're gonna get more damage if you like stack your passive a bit, like halfway or full, and then just nuke them with ult. That's what you really want to do with the champion. But if you're lethality, go ahead and lead with ult. You're gonna nuke them regardless if you have stacks or not. Yeah. I really think, yeah, like they can change a few things. I can see, like if they don't change this champion a bit, he's gonna get a mini rework. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's not too delusional. I tried to be reasonable. This champion is definitely really fun. It's gonna be my new main, maybe, but he's not a diver. He's so close. He's almost old Aatrox, man. Please make him a diver. Make his E longer or something. It's too slow. Oh yeah, and one thing is E flash is bugged on this champion. Like what? Like you gotta like delay your flash a bit, but you can't extend the duration. Like yeah, I don't know. It's scuffed. But anyways, that's my take on Zaahen. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Peace.